Nerdrotic.com.
Hello. Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner on time. Don't get used to it. Don't get used to it. But yeah, I had to wake up super early for a YouTuber. I used to wake up way earlier than that back in my working days, but went to the specialist. I'm shot up full of steroids right now. So let's get into some roid rage. Yeah. Let's go. I can't move my left arm at all. So this will be fun. It's okay. I've got my right hand for lots of things. Welcome. Yes, the soups are turned off because we are going to do some squaring up, and we've got a lot of squaring up to do, and it's going to be a two-parter. It just is. I have to save my voice today for some book reading and all that good stuff. We're also going to react to, this might be shocking news. A Star Wars movie is going to be coming out. The first one since the Rise of Skywalker. So we'll get to that. And also female Voldemort. It sounds ridiculous, but so did Black Snape. We'll get into that too. But first, let's see who's here. The Grizzly. Hello. Yowzer 79. Legatus. Legionis. Mark Lizard and his wrench. What's up, Mark? Eric Kane is wrench. Master Austin, Mr. Edric Dew, Robert, I can't pronounce that first name, sorry. Cash Kester, what's up, smoking man? What's up? How about them Chiefs? That second, or are they third place Chiefs? I don't know, because the Chargers are in first place right now. The 3-0 Chargers, fucking Los Angeles Chargers. Just want to point that out. Doc Possum, Milham, Uncle Jimmy, Alex Vashis, Tim, Solomon Kane 66, Psychotic Mongoose, Matthew, M. Mooney, The Jaded Filmmaker. There's a lot of those out there, my brother. Espresso Martini. Oh, I'm trying to think back to my drinking days. Would that be good? I'd drink it just to get drunk. Espresso Martini, is that like the alcoholic's version of a speedball? Just checking. Matakovsky, Robert, did I get that right? Probably not. JS Pena, what's up? Molaram. All right, let's we're gonna do some business first, and then we're gonna get some trailer reacting. Yes, it's gonna be a quiet time in genre for the next 8 months. Let's see if my math is right. We got September's almost over. So we go October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Yeah, 8 months. 8 months. Until we get the Star Wars movie and Marvel movies start showing up again. So the rumor mill, the behind the paywall rumor mill is going to be a little light on material. So we're going to hear some whoppers. And hey, some of them are going to be true. And since Hollywood has leaned into the parody, I mean, I don't blame anybody for believing them at all at this point. But first, let's get to some business before X-Ray Girl fires me. And we're going to talk about lean, because we all want to be lean. But, you know, I'll preface this by saying you don't need to look like Adonis. You know, the best thing about staying in shape is do it as much for sanity as for vanity. One thing I have done lately, and inspired by my good friend Chris Gore after he had a stroke, now he's healthier than ever. He takes at minimum a 5-mile walk every day. I'm like, well, if that old fart can do it, so can I. So added to the gym, I do my minimum 5-mile walk almost every day. Not today, I feel great, sleep great, head is clear. It's good stuff. But we also have lean. Doctors call it weight cycling. Half of Americans do it, And if you do it enough, you are at risk of diabetes, liver damage, heart attack, and stroke. Pretty much everything poor Boogie could be suffering, although he has lost a lot of weight. I'll say he's lost a lot of weight. I think he needs to lose a little more, but you know. Weight cycling is when you lose 10 or so pounds, but then you put the pounds back on plus a couple of more. That puts tremendous strain on your organs and leads to serious health issues. Bottom line, most people need help to stop weight cycling. And here's a great way. Non-prescription lean was created by doctors. Lean is an oral supplement, not a GLP, injectable, and the science is impressive. Its studied ingredients also target weight loss in 3 powerful ways. Lean helps maintain healthy blood sugar. It helps control appetite and cravings, and it helps burn fat by converting it into energy, and burning fat helps keep the weight off. If you want to lose meaningful weight at a healthy pace and keep it off, add lean to your diet and exercise lifestyle. Get 20% off when you enter Nerdrotic at takelean.com. That's code Nerdrotic at takelean.com. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. Got to stay lean for the ladies, or for the guys, for the 5 women in the chat today. What's up, ladies? What's up, ladies? You got to ask the ladies. Does it get you to watch something when they're like, hey, we virtue signaled and we cast a major villain, one of the most evil characters in literature, as a woman for representation? Does that make you go, man, I'm going to watch? Thank God Voldemort is a woman. Voldemort is a woman. Let's see if I can find that. Let's see if it's in the research. I meant to go to Star Wars, but man, I think I want to talk about the Voldemort thing first. I really don't. And it's nowhere to be found. Good Lord. Okay, hang on a second.
I can share it in the private chat.
Share it in the private chat, please.
There you go.
Thank you. You're the best. You are the best. Here we go. So, again, this is a rumor from Daniel RPK. I'm going to say, like with most rumor people, I'm sure that Daniel RPK, I don't know what his pronouns are, and I don't really care, has probably been right a couple of times and probably been wrong a whole lot. I don't really care. I don't care to look it up. But from Screen Time, the Harry Potter TV series is reportedly auditioning both men and women for the role of Voldemort via Daniel RPK. And this was started making the rounds yesterday, right? I could absolutely see the Harry Potter TV show, due to DEI restrictions, having to audition men and women. And I can certainly see them casting a woman. As crazy as it sounds, they cast Black Snape. So all bets are off at this point. Maybe they'll get a trans actor. Maybe Voldemort is a trans allegory. I don't know. But what I do know is Voldemort's name is derived from Tom Riddle. Sounds like a male name, but has that stopped him before? I mean, there's Michael Burnham out there. So I could absolutely see them casting a woman as Voldemort, as a young Tom Riddle, and just keeping the name Tom. Can't you? I mean, does this sound crazy? Hollywood has leaned into the parody so much, it makes something like this not only believable, probable, which makes it easy for these rumor mongers out there who have their paywalls up, because they could make outlandish claims and now the shit's going to come true. I don't blame them. Hail capitalism. If you can put your rumors up behind a paywall and people are willing to pay for them, hail capitalism. Now, is Voldemort explicitly male in the books? Yes. People will probably try to find a way. Well, she didn't specifically use the pronoun he. Now I'll have to go back in my very scattered memory, but I'm guessing J.K. Rowling did. And this would be utterly ridiculous, but we've seen this before so many times. And they do it with prominent characters instead of, I don't know, like race swapping Perry White or even race swapping Jim Gordon. You're like, Jim Gordon creates problems. Yes, problems due to family lineage and stuff, but it's still kind of worked in the Batman. It depends on the individual case. But specifically choosing Snape to race change Snape to black was 100% a political decision, an ideologically motivated decision, and a decision to satisfy the DEI gods. And my guess is they needed to do that so they could cast the rest of the characters as accurately as possible. Like, well, that's a lot of white people. You're going to have to give us a major character, and it's good, and he or she's going to have to be black. That's the only way this is going to work. All right. How about Miss McGonagall? Nope, that's a female prominent character. She needs to look how she does. How about Professor Sprout? Not prominent enough. We want Snape. But no, they're not done. Now, why are they casting Voldemort so early? What I've heard is they're going to add stuff. Okay. Originally, we were supposed to get this as a faithful adaptation to J.K. Rowling's novels. I had the headcanon that J.K. Rowling went ahead with this to erase Emma Watson and Daniel Radcliffe from Harry Potter history. That's why all the sets are going to look similar and stuff. So when you're at the parks, you could do a little 3D adventure and you could just plop out the movie Ron, Hermione, and Harry and just plop in the TV show version. And then you don't have to change anything else. And then they're gone. And that really works in my headcanon. I think that's fucking hilarious. And I am a huge Harry Potter fan. I wanted a faithful adaptation. This had potential, great potential, to be the most watched show in the history of HBO and maybe the most watched show, scripted show in the world. It had potential. It's that big. Harry Potter is the millennial Star Wars. And I still think the premiere episode is going to get absolutely bonkers ratings. My guess is season 8 finale of Game of Thrones kind of ratings, like ridiculous ratings, even in the time of streaming. It will be insane. I don't know how long it's going to last because you have a black Snape who's a pretty important character who, since they made it an issue of race, it's now going to be made an issue of race in the story, which undercuts the entire story because there certainly is bigotry, but it's bigotry between magic folk and non-magic folk, wizards and muggles. And then we can go to the house elves and all the other stuff, but it absolutely ruins it. And it puts a modern element into a timeless story. Maybe the last great British story, which has given so much to our culture. So much to our culture. But then you have to have a female Voldemort, which is just, worse. But I think of Tilda Swinton as a female Celtic ancient one for Doctor Strange. And Kevin Feige said he specifically made that decision so it wouldn't be problematic. And then he actually said, yeah, that was probably not a good decision later on. And it wasn't. Quite frankly, the audiobook casting for Harry Potter, I saw somebody mention in the chat, is Much better. Hugh Laurie as Dumbledore. John Lithgow is one of the greatest actors to ever live. Love the guy. Hope he lives forever. Hugh Laurie's a better Dumbledore. For one, he's British. He's British. But the casting in the audio books, the audio series, the first one comes out November 4th. So we're talking about a month from now. But when it comes to female Voldemort, I could absolutely see this happening. Again, the rumor is based on the possibility that they are auditioning men and women, and I think they have to, which is utterly retarded, a waste of time and resources. As Hollywood complains about, budgets going out of control. You know what? You know how you can save a lot of money. It's a tough one to say get rid of the HR department in Hollywood, considering how bad they are. But get rid of your HR department, get rid of intimacy coordinators, get rid of, I think some of the COVID people are still there, and get rid of fucking DEI executives, which they obviously haven't. And they can't, because guess what? It's woven into all the rules for the Emmys and the Academy Awards. And I know you guys don't care and nobody cares, but they care. They care. So that's still, and this is being shot in the UK, so they probably have a whole different set of stupid rules over there. But I can absolutely see this happening, and I will laugh. I will laugh my ass off, because when you cover pop culture, when you do what I do, we cover the good, the bad, and the ugly of pop culture, and it's a win-win. If it's really fucking good, then, which is my preference, then it's good. We can talk about a good TV show. And with Harry Potter, I'll be doing live streams after every episode on the main channel, just like the old days. I'll be doing a video specifically on each episode, going all in on this one. Either way, that was the plan from the beginning. Guess this puts off retirement because this show is supposed to go for 10 years. Here's a problem, though. How'd that work out for Amazon with the Rings of Power? Committing to multiple seasons. And it turns out to be shit. And more often than not, that's what happens when we have this big plan. As a matter of fact, it always happens. When has it not happened? When we have a big verse. We're going to make a verse, a Harry Potter verse, a monster verse, a Star Trek verse. When has it not ended up like complete shit? Oh, the MCU. The MCU wasn't planned as it was a kernel of an idea that they're like, let's throw it in and we might make them, tangentially connected. And then it turned into a full verse. And the more connected it got, the worse it got. The worse it got. So every one of these things that's been planned in modern era has completely failed. Completely failed. But I at least understand HBO committing to that much because that's probably what JK wanted. And quite frankly, it's probably the one it is the one property out there that is, despite Fantastic Beasts and all the bullshit they went through with Johnny Depp, the main series is fine. The books are selling better than ever. The parks experiences are packed and they are really good. Really, really good. It's the shining example of what Star Wars should have done to their park. So at least I understand it from that perspective. And J.K. Rowling definitely was in the position of power and still is when it comes to negotiation. But the only thing she's talked about publicly about this show was saying she can't sack the actor Papa Esiato, the actor playing Black Snape. No promotion, nothing else. But you know what she has promoted? The Audible audiobook, which I remember back in the day thinking, why haven't they done this? Why haven't they done a full cast Harry Potter series? I don't know what the hell took them so long. George R.R. Martin, you need to make some extra money. They should do a full cast audio version of A Song of Ice and Fire. I don't know why the fuck you haven't done that. JK famously hasn't done any and won't do any comic book adaptations, which kind of disappoints me, but oh well. The illustrated books are out there. The pop-up book, those are really good. Barnes and Noble, which is doing well nowadays, they're actually expanding. They're opening more stores in America, which is unheard of, has this giant Harry Potter section. Usually it's upstairs. It's right next to the giant Lego section. So it's still pretty popular. This would be a killing blow. To me, Black Snape is kind of a deal breaker anyway. So what the fuck? But this would be ridiculous. And I absolutely believe it could happen. I do. Yes, there's still bookstores. Yes, there is. We have a great bookstore. It might be in other states. I never saw one in California, but we have Half Price Books. I love that place. It's got vinyl, it's got video games, it's got consoles, it's got comics, it's got trade paperbacks, some toys, and a ton of books. Love Half Price Books. And then there's a bunch of local bookstores, which I support, by the way, mom and pops. But Barnes and Noble doing well. Can't figure out how. What did I get at Barnes and Noble? I got Junior some Elric, which he read immediately. And you should too. If you want to know where a lot of elements, I would argue there are more elements from Elric in A Song of Ice and Fire than Witcher. There is the look, there is some iconography, there is some, actually straight up ripped off terms. But as far as what Elric is, the melancholy warrior, I think there's more of that in A Song of Ice and Fire. There's more versions of Elric. Daemon Targaryen, Bloodraven, Rhaegar. Those are all like derivatives of Elric. And the whole Valyrian race is derivative from that book. Absolutely read it. It's bonkers. It's great. It's fun. And it's something that does the multiverse right. And yes, Michael Moorcock, unfortunate last name, dropped a lot of acid back in the day. He did. Really good shit, though. Razor has some very good videos on some good comic book recommendations. I go seek those out. They're very good. All right. You ready for the trailer? The trailer for... Boop, boop. Oh my God. Everything is politics right now. And I completely understand. Charlie Kirk's memorial yesterday was pretty great. Pretty great to see people. Not a religious guy myself. I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. But it's great to see people congregating, practicing their religion openly, which I don't have a problem with, and not burning shit down, and coming together and trying to inspire each other. And Erica Kirk's speech was powerful, and rough, and not in a bad way. It's rough. Like she had to give this speech a week and a half after her husband was assassinated. And she talked about forgiveness, which is key, which is absolutely, as it sounds insane, but you have to forgive. Maybe that's why it's written into the Bible and so many other places, is you have to forgive to move forward. Doesn't mean you forget. Doesn't mean you don't dispense justice. It means you forgive. Evil exists. Evil can both exist and be created. Both things can be true. I have witnessed it. Oh God. Now, I put in the Mandalorian Grogu trailer, and you know what I get? I don't even get the Star Wars. I get IGN. Okay. Then I get Emergency Awesome. I like Charlie. He's one of the earliest channels I subscribe to here on YouTube to get my entertainment stuff. Everything's a trailer reaction and this and that, but I like Charlie. Charlie's never gotten into anything stupid, and he's kind of remained the same, and I appreciate that. Then we have fucking Grace Randolph, the outlaw John Rocha, everybody's trailer reaction, and it's all like stupid fucking faces in the thumbnail. Jesus Christ. Where's the Star Wars? I mean, I want to go. Oh, there's Star Wars UK. Where's like the regular? Oh, there it is. It's like the fifth one down. 3 hours, 485,000 views. People might think that's low, but some of you may not know. The view count, especially for a hot video, will trail behind. And it can trail behind by anything from 10,000 to 100,000 views. So somebody hit me up this morning and said it's got 36,000 likes and only 5,000 views. And I'm like, well, I mean, would I put Star Wars beyond botting their own shit? No, because they've done that before. But what most likely happened was the view count on the video was trailing behind what it actually was. It takes a while to cycle through. True view counts are only, we can see those in our studio, but oh, fuck. Oh, sorry. I'm not supposed to move my arm. Fuck. Fucking A, it sucks getting old. True view counts you see in the studio. For those of you who do not know, I fucked up my shoulder really bad. We took the x-rays today. I got a steroid shot, and it's supposed to start feeling better in a couple of days, but it's at the worst point right now. And I keep forgetting. So anytime I move it hurts like fucking hell. And I'm not a pussy when it comes to pain, but here we go. So now it's at 500,000. All right. Do 56,000 likes to about 6,000 dislikes. It looks like everybody's loving the Baby Yoda movie. The Baby Yoda movie. But I want you to think about this. Is the last, correct me if I'm wrong, chat. The last thing I do believe Star Wars put out was it was Andor season 2. I'm juicing. That's right, chat. Andor season 2. Forget Skeleton Crew. Andor season 2. So a lot of my friends, my very good friends, loved this show. Beginning to end, said this is what we wanted Star Wars to be when Disney bought it, or, you know, this is how we wanted Star Wars to grow up. And I would agree. I think many of us thought, you know, the tone they took with Rogue One, which is not a spectacular movie, but the tone they took with Andor, which is very serious, that's where I thought they were going to go. Sweet Summer Child, when they bought Star Wars, that they're going to start making it a little more sophisticated and having it grow up with the generation. Turns out they had no plan at all. And you can't say they made a kid show because it's too retarded to say it specifically. For one, why do you hate kids so much? What the hell? But comparatively, Andor season 2 was what they thought Star Wars, and many of them think it's the third best Star Wars. It's the fourth best Star Wars. I don't totally agree. I think there are aspects of Andor season 2 that are phenomenal. The Empire stuff, Stellan Skarsgård stuff, is fucking great. That's what I wanted out of Star Wars. The lesbians and the main character, not so great. I think Diego Luna gets better in the second season as it goes on, but he is not the most interesting thing in his own fucking show. They should have called it something else. They absolutely should have called it something else. And according to Hollywood right now, firing Jimmy Kimmel is exactly what happened in Andor. Now, I watched Andor season 2. And I must have missed the late night talk show host who got fired, or got suspended for 2 weeks and then gets his job back. Did I miss that part? But I like Andor was the best quality wise in aspects, the best Star Wars I've seen, but it's only in parts. Again, if I just watch the Empire stuff and the Stellan Skarsgård stuff, it's really good. Really, really fucking good. The other stuff, the whole lesbian thing was fucking cringe. Cringe, unnecessary. You could have completely removed them from the show and it would have made no fucking difference. But think about that. That's the setup. Think about the quality, the time, the amount of money that was put into Andor, and what was everybody saying, even the people who liked Andor. They're like, oh, it's going to be right back to the Filoni shit right after this. And, you know, it's one thing to know something. It's another thing to actually see it play out. That Andor season 2, award-winning Andor season 2, was an anomaly. And we're back to our regularly scheduled, retarded Lucasfilm programming with Kathleen Kennedy inserts, Filoniisms, and Jon Favreau cashing, hopefully, a really big paycheck, because we have our first Star Wars movie coming to the theaters in 6 years since the rise of Palpatine. This crown jewel of Disney that they paid billions of dollars for, which is a cinematic franchise, not a television franchise, hasn't had a movie for over half a decade, and this is going to be the first one back. Basically, a truncated Mandalorian season 4. Okay, for one, the effects on that look terrible. Now, you can't, I'm sure you, that looks terrible. That looks like After Effects. The lighting's wrong. I didn't even make it in for a second. So you see there is cloud cover. You see the cloud cover, and there is shadowing. They didn't account for that, or this isn't finished, but it makes the ship stand out. Minor gripe, whatever. I could put up with shitty special effects if you give me characters I care about. But, you know, considering this is your first movie, your first Star Wars movie in 6 years, you might want to get shit right. And you fucked up in the first 4 seconds. And I am basic bitch on After Effects, which of course they didn't use. And I can see this. All right, let's go. Oh, look, they got the Razor Crest back. They got the Razor Fist back. How did that happen? They blew it up. Remember when they blew up the Razor Razor Crest, and then they offered it on was it HasLabs? Then they made a toy of it. At least they could have given it blown up action. Yeah, but didn't he have the Naboo fight? I don't know. Whatever, the fighter, the Naboo fighter, right? Is that what it was from the prequels? So in previously on The Mandalorian, Lizzo and Jack Black were both fat. And the Mandalorian, in a ceremonial handing over of the penis and balls, gave Bo-Katan the dark saber, ladies. And little baby Yoda was cutesy wootsy cutesy. This would be like making a baby Groot movie right now. That trend is so gone. Oh, fuck, that stupid theme. Oh, wait. I remember. Wait. Oh, look, he's got a little telescope. It's cutesy pootsy. Fucking X-Ray Girl right now is going, oh, it's so cute. Girls ruin everything. Uh-oh, what was that? What was that? That was X-Ray Girl cursing me with her Mandarin magic. He's got a little telescope. Okay, so that looks like regular stormtroopers. But let's keep in mind The Mandalorian and Grogu, the first movie since the fall of Palpatine, is going to continue down the road that leads to The Last Jedi. It's going to set up the First Order, Kylo Ren, and all the wonderful stuff from the Disney trilogy. This is going to set it all up because that's what you all want, right? You were like, yeah, man, I really wanted to know how this First Order started, which is just the Empire rebooted, and they respawned like pretty quick. Meaning, holy shit, Han, Luke, and Leia completely failed at the end of Return of the Jedi. They partied way too soon. I'm so glad the original trilogy, one of the greatest film trilogies ever made, not the greatest, but one of them, something that was impactful on my life and so many others. It's great to know now it was completely meaningless. Oh, little cutesy. Is that Babu Frick? I don't remember and I don't care. Oh, Baby Yoda. He's not walking like a puppet. Oh, okay. Sigourney Weaver is a legend. I would not besmirch her name, even though she was awful in The Defenders as the grandma who could defeat Elektra and one of the leaders of the Hand. That is as stupid as having Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One, but I digress. This, ladies and gentlemen of both genders, this, are we going to talk in this? No. This is a Kathleen Kennedy self-insert. Another one, except a more accurate one. So she's got, oh my God, is that the Purina cat chow? What I forgot what pet food logo that was. She's obviously girl boss of the rebellion, or of the, I'm sorry, the New Republic, girl boss of the New Republic, because man, we haven't had a girl boss in Star Wars in the last week. Yes, there was girl bosses, tons of them in Andor, tons. But man, this is really new and different. We have a white elderly, so that's different. We have a white brunette woman who's bossing people around in a Star Wars movie, except this time it's elderly because they just want to straight up make it Kathleen Kennedy. The architect of the destruction of the greatest cinematic intellectual property that will ever be created. And the only thing this reminds me of is that a woman ruined Star Wars. Oh, but that's cute because Kathleen Kennedy didn't let little baby Yoda have the food. I responded to Robot Head and I said, this is a Kathleen Kennedy self-insert. And his response to me was, little baby Yoda is Rianne Johnson in this scene. And he's right. Oh, look, some actual action with the Mandalorian, the title character. Oh, he finally said a word. Hey, I didn't even bring it up earlier. Are you guys ready for some more Pedro Pascal? I know you are. I know you are. There's no such thing as Pedro Pascal fatigue. I guess they did one thing good. They made me forget that Pedro Pascal is a voice actor in this movie for 54 seconds. Until he finally said his first word which was impressive. And that was, well, it's not Jabba the Hutt. I wonder if is that Jabba's kid? The one from, the one from the first Clone Wars movie. I don't care. Karen the Hutt. That's it. Yeah. Rada the Hutt. That's it. Yes. Yes. I only saw that movie once in the theaters. It's Schlurpo. It is Schlurpo. Sorry, it's an inside joke. Try to stay away from those. So baby Yoda is eating some popcorn. Isn't that cute? Look at that little baby. You know what? X-Ray Girl's making cute noises. She can't help it. She'll even say, like, I'm not going to make cute noises. And then little baby Yoda eats some popcorn. She goes, oh, it's baby Yoda. Oh, this looks terrible. All right. Remember? All-terrain armed transports. I remember. Oh, look, one's blowing up and falling off a cliff really slowly for half the fucking trailer. What is this? What is this logo? So here's a title that rolls off the tongue, ladies and gentlemen. Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu. What are you going to see tonight, honey? Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu. Every show is a fucking name of somebody. This is marketing departments run amok. This is the franchise inspired by Saturday morning serials. That's why George Lucas named The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi's basic names. If we go to The Phantom Menace, one of the best sci-fi titles ever is from a Star Wars book. Splinter of the Mind's Eye is legit a fucking great title. And all you could think of is The Mandalorian and Grogu. And they had to put and Grogu. I'm sure they were thinking, we'll just call it The Mandalorian. And they're like, oh, no. We have to put Grogu. For one, I'm guessing most people still think it's just Baby Yoda. But then there's the font. And I don't know if I can show it, but Raging Rhino showed it to me. It's very similar to the Ant-Man and the Wasp font. It's very, very similar. I don't know if maybe you could show it, X-Ray Girl. So yeah, I got it. I can show it. So we'll get back to the trailer in just a mo. I mean, it's almost over. But here's Raging Rhinos. So there's the Mandalorian and Grogu, Ant-Man and the Wasp. So they finished. I mean, essentially the A is an upside down V, right? But that little niche on the top, very similar. M's different. I see the similarities. You know what both of them are? Uninspired gobbledygook slop. Even going back to the Iron Man logo, the best Iron Man logo is from the comics where it's the letters are actual iron and they have rivets in it. Like, that's the best one. Why don't you use that? Superman, what did they use? Just this basic bitch font when Superman has the most iconic logo There is, as far as a title. They're hacks. They're filled with hacks, and we'll talk about that in a second. But we'll go back to this spectacular trailer so we can see one more little cute baby Grogu Yoda scene. Forged for IMAX.
Good shot, baby.
So it's a kids movie. It's a full-on kids movie. It looks very very Muppet. It looks very Return of the Jedi, but not as good. So yeah, it's a kids movie, and I honestly don't think it makes 500 million worldwide. I don't think people care that much about a derivative Yoda, a derivative Boba Fett, in a derivative show with a Kathleen Kennedy insert, which set up a bunch of shit in its first 3 seasons that we see nothing of. Thankfully, no Bo-Katan, no Darksaber, which is a damn shame because that first episode, I didn't think it was that bad. I kind of liked it. Werner Herzog as a former Imperial commander, his speech on like what the Empire's motivations are is, you just isolate that scene, one of the best scenes in Star Wars. And remember, Mandalorian was just supposed to be a Western, and now he's a babysitter. And let's not even get into like Baby Yoda's story should have ended with him being trained by Luke Skywalker. And then they stopped the Boba Fett series almost halfway through to bring him back, make Luke a bigger dick. And then they went into season 3 where it actually got worse. Season 3 was it was comical. Comically bad. So that is Star Wars rolling up on its 50th anniversary soon. And there's no plan. It looks like we're going to get a couple of side adventure movies, which honestly, they should start with baby steps. The fact that Kathleen Kennedy is still employed will be studied till the end of time, although we all know the answer. It would cost them too much political capital. She was appointed by George. So blame George for Kathleen. Buddies with Steven Spielberg. Now we have the poster, which is a hot mess. Let's see if I could you find me the poster real quick? X-Ray Girl. Thanks. Hang on a second. I can find it. There it is. This is the poster. So they're really trying to go pulp. They're very much trying to go Saturday morning serial with this. The problem is, this is a Indiana Jones poster. This shows you, this is a fucking Indiana Jones poster, a bad one. But I see what they're trying to do. It is, and believe me, I want them to go more towards this instead of having all just the random flying heads. But this is still a random flying head. Look at it's so fucking busy. It is so fucking busy. And look, Sigourney Weaver is prominent. Is there absolutely anything that makes you like, man, I need to see this? Is it that whatever the fuck it is in the right-hand corner that's going on, because I can't see it. There's a couple of huts. Baby Grogu's in his own poster twice. Mandalorian's in his own poster twice. Dude from Rebels. Oh, look. An AT-AT. All-terrain armed transport. So, and then in starring Pedro Pascal as Din Djarin and Grogu as himself. Oh, that's so cute. Only in theaters, May 22nd. Because we figured if we're going to spend this much money on a fourth season that's going to lose us a ton, let's try to make some back in the theater. And that's exactly what this is. You know, it's funny. Ryan can correct me because I know seeing the huts in this makes me think that this might be a partially reworked Boba Fett movie. If you look into what the Boba Fett movie was supposed to be about, which was worked into the Mandalorian show, they might have reworked it back to what was supposed to be the James Mangold Boba Fett movie. But the most important question is, do you care? Do you care? See, when all of us were raging after some of us, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker, which actually brought a lot of the fandom together, except for those twats who tried to take down my channel and others. Fuck them. People still cared. That's people caring. People are angry, offering suggestions, offering criticisms. That means they're still into it. That means they still care. That means you, Lucasfilm, still had a chance. We are well into apathy. Care, I do not, says the chat. When Disney Plus waived your rights to sue Disney, fuck you, you're evil. Yes, Disney is evil. It is an evil company. And I want Hollywood to survive. I like movies. I like books. I like TV shows. I want them to get better. I want them to actually reflect what the culture is. They could certainly get political, but I want them to, I don't know, apply any allegory or criticism equally. I think that'd be great. And they've always been largely one side, but man, they went all in 10 years ago. And it's no surprise that they completely torpedoed their own industry. And there's a lot of reasons, but the foundation that the foundation of sand that woke Hollywood is built on is the message. And it's led to their utter destruction. And there's no better example than Star Wars. You follow the fate of Star Wars, you follow the fate of Hollywood. It's a microcosm of what's happened to Hollywood. We need to put a woman in charge. Okay. Woman's not doing good. We can't fire her. Why? Because she's a woman. Well, that's dumb. Well, Star Wars has still made money. But you know who knows the truth is Disney. They know how much money they've left on the table by alienating well over half the audience now. And even if they start doing things right, listen, the Sean Levy, Ryan Gosling, Star Wars Starfighter movie could be good. Ain't bringing people back. That's fatigue. That's apathy. Go check out I still believe Perry Chan's best editing job he's ever done. Go check out our top 10 Disney Star Wars failures. That video to this day gets lots of views. It's crazy. Very slow burner, that one. But we go over it. It's about half an hour long. Go check it out. Hail Perry Chan, by the way. We love Perry Chan. Lizzo fat fatigue. Yeah. I hope she loses weight. I just hope she doesn't act in a Star Wars thing ever again. But her going out there and trying to lose some weight, I support that. Oh yeah. Then there's Gina Carano. Somebody tried to throw that in my face when we're talking about Jimmy Kimmel. And I said, listen, it's okay to fire people who suck at their job. And they're like Gina Carano. And I'm like, Gina Carano didn't get fired because she was shitty at her job. Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he was shitty at his job. He was suspended. They're going to bring him back, but he loses money for them. Gina Carano was a pretty popular character in Mandalorian. Gina Carano figures and stuff were selling before she got fired. She was a popular character. They certainly were going to keep her because they offered her another fucking show. No, Gina Carano was fired, not even for her speech, for reposting somebody else's memes. But what she really got fired for was the refusal to use compelled speech, which was pronouns. I'd say throw up a better example next time. Throw up a better example next time, Junior. So yeah, and Kimmel's probably going to come back again. He was suspended again. It wasn't the FCC chairman or Trump again. If the FCC chairman and Trump are going to people and saying, if the state is going to private companies saying fire people, I am against it. Absolutely against it. Here's the problem. That didn't happen. The FCC chairman definitely said something. Do those words carry weight? Yes, they have carried weight in the past, and the companies have done absolutely nothing. When it comes from Trump. When it comes from the Biden administration, the Obama administration, and what would have come with the Kamala Harris administration, wouldn't have been, you need to do this. The companies, all it would have been is a one little phone call. No, we're happy to do it. We're happy to do it because it happened. So you know what? Keep it up. Wacko progressive left. Keep bringing up free speech like you give a shit. I got a question. There's a very recent example. Did you give a shit when the state arrested a comedian over tweets? 5 armed gunmen at a fucking airport waiting for Graham Linehan and arresting him publicly on the orders of the state. Not a fucking peep from you. So let them roll out their hypocritical shit and just throw facts in their face. But that's how they work, is the people who here's a hardcore example. Somebody keeps murdering your friends and allies. Somebody murders your dog, and then in retaliation, you murder that person. And then people go, you're murdering. Little extreme example, but that's exactly what it is. The people committing the atrocity have one committed against them, and they're like, "Oh, you guys are supposed to be better than us." You know what? There's a point. You know, as a man said, "Turn the other cheek." A lot of people just don't want to. Gavin McGinnis said it best in his video where he's like, you know, our side, whatever that side is. This is what he says. Our side doesn't cancel people for saying things. That's completely against our values. Yes, we are being hypocrites with Jimmy Kimmel, and I don't give a fuck. These are the rules that you have set up. And do not be surprised when people use them against you. People have been saying that for years and years now. This is a double-edged sword. Eventually, censorship and cancellation comes for you. Nobody stays in power forever. And that's why it shouldn't have been introduced in the first place. We tried to warn you. You didn't listen. You thought you had so much control, and they still do, that it would just never happen to you. Well, now it will, because you have pissed off enough of America. Enough of America is now aware of this, that it is threatening the private businesses real money. Real money. And it had everything to do with Nexstar and the other company. I'm forgetting the name. Sinclair. I got that wrong. But yeah, don't be shocked when this happens. Should Jimmy Kimmel be fired for lying, being a dick? Said in my video. No. I don't think so. Am I sad that he got fired or suspended? Nope. See, there's the thing is, we can, like, in our foundation, fundamentally have a problem with it. But it happened. I had no say in the matter, and I don't care. And it has everything to do with forgiving and not forgetting. Jimmy Kimmel has shit on half the country and clowned a lot of people for getting fired for a long, long time. So if he's expecting help, he's going to be waiting from that side. He's going to be waiting a long fucking time, because they have they do not need to help you. I wouldn't expect them to help you, and they shouldn't help you. It's how you learn things. That's how you learn things. Man, I shit on these people for a decade, and they won't help me. I wonder why. I thought they were principled. You can absolutely be principled going, oh man, I'm completely against what happened to you. Tough break, buddy. Tough break. And I'm not like, what he said was so divisive, disingenuous, that I'm willing to set aside my personal values for a moment and just fuck this guy. Fuck that. Trying to continue to run, and they're still trying to run with this narrative. And believe me, they're going to do some crazy mental gymnastics to try to reckon with the fact that one of the woke, killed somebody for their thoughts, for speech. Woke took a life. Not the first one it's taken, not the last one it's going to take, but this one was a prominent one. And specifically took that life out for specifically one issue: trans. Again. And they're having a hard time wrestling with this. So that's why they ran to the "We Are Jimmy Kimmel" to try to obfuscate from the "We Are Charlie Kirk." And it's disgusting as it looks. That's how divisive things are. And I expect nothing less from a bunch of vapid, soulless, empty shell, mostly retards. But some, I don't want to give them that excuse. They're intelligent enough. They're just bad people. Not everybody. Again, there's a lot of people from Hollywood who condemned it, and to them, thank you. I mean, it's a basic human thing. So thank you for being human. But it turns out a lot of your comrades are inhuman. The thing you accuse us of all the time. Now, am I going to commit any violence or do anything? Nope. Wouldn't even cross my mind. But it crosses theirs. It's so funny that they're so quick to violence, the whole punch Nazi thing. And people have gone over this in the past, and none of them, it'd be like maybe feeling the wind change directions if any of those noodle arms did manage to connect with your face or any part of your body without hurting themselves. They've never been in a fight. Yeah. Jimmy Kimmel. He'll be back. I think he comes back in a couple weeks. Yeah, lots of violence this year. I mean, you know what? A guy blowing himself up in a Tesla in front of Trump Tower was a good foreshadowing of this year. I think the one good thing, I think there's a lot of actually, you got to take good out of horror, right? You've got to learn something. It's got to mean something, right? And we humans are very good at like trying to find some kind of meaning in something so senseless, so tragic, so horrific. I'll never forget watching that video. And I've seen horrific violence happen to people IRL. Horrific. It didn't make it any easier at all. It made it worse. But the only sense we can make of this is it seems to have galvanized a lot of people. And it's not just, I think, the right, but a lot of people on the left are like, whoa, I did not sign up for this. And people who are just right down the middle, which is the vast majority. You can lean one way or another, but most people are just pretty much moderate. And they see more of Charlie and find out that he was pretty much like just a normal Christian, like run of the mill, normal, nice guy, apparently, but, just a Christian guy. Not Hitler. And it has created a paradigm shift, another cultural shift. So we've had 2 cultural shifts in under a year, major ones, which shows our culture's in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. Remember the days when we used to argue about healthcare? So I think that's the good that comes out of it. Seeing Trump and Elon getting back together, probably a good thing. We'll see. We'll see. But thank you guys for being here. It was we started Forbidden Frontier a little late because I wanted to hear Erica Kirk speak. Our boy Benny gave a good speech. It's great seeing Benny there. I think he's sitting in for the Charlie Kirk show today. And they knew Charlie. I've never met him. But yeah, it hits a little different. We see these news guys every day, and I'm sure people either like them or don't. I've gotten to meet Benny privately. Benny's a really cool guy. But I guess it hits a little different when it's like this guy was their friend, Jack Posobiec gave a very passionate speech and they were close. So, yeah, the one thing they don't want to do is humanize. And I'm absolutely fine with, seeing, is it Van Jones come out and he talked about getting a text from Charlie wanting to talk. And he came out and said, hey, we disagreed, but like he didn't shit. Like he said some kind words, and it's like, we need a lot more of that. And I agree. We need it from your side, though, Van. We need a lot more from your side. And hopefully we can get to that someday. We ain't there. I'm just stating a basic reality right now is we ain't there. The temperature is very high here in America. It's very hot. So we're gonna go back and forth, and again, this is gonna be 2 parts. We have a lot. You guys were amazing. We get to every one. We have a lot, and I try to give it proper time too. That's why we turn the super chats off. So again, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being here. Oh my God. Oh, I saw that. Yeah, the Epstein stuff was fucking just a huge forced error because they never had any stuff. It's not like they kept fucking files and names. Let's not be that naive. That's not how they compartmentalize information. There was a list at one time. That thing is long fucking gone. And saying that you can come up with it and find it, you're dreaming. You're dreaming. That shit was gone a long time ago. A long time ago. Bushin Ryuka cat for $5. Can someone check on that Star Wars girl? She seems really upset in last video. Can't reach her or anyone on X. I run into Anna once in a while. Like last time I ran into her was LA, right? No, San Diego Comic-Con. San Diego Comic-Con. But yeah, I don't have any contact information or anything. I'm sure she's fine. She just had a kid. She's a new mom. I'm sure she's fine. And CZ for 200 Czechoslovakian pesos says, used to work in AAA. I couldn't be happier working for an indie now. No compulsory DEI workshops or Pride Awareness Months anymore. Charlie is waking up a lot of people now. Yeah, somebody earlier was like, I'm watching for now. I have to go to a DEI meeting. If I have to work, wouldn't be afraid to do it, by the way. Be very happy to, if all this goes away tomorrow, I mean, we're in pretty good shape, but I'd want to do something. So if I had to go back and work, I'd have no problem with it. Except if I had to go to a DEI seminar, I would quit that job that day. That day. On a lighter note, it's my birthday. My hometown is being turned into Gotham City, says Willpower. I've read this one. I've read a bunch of these. X-Ray Girl, hang on. Let me get to the one. Okay. Stifler's dad for $4.99 says, I had the pleasure of meeting Charlie. Now the media is saying he was shot by one of us, a MAGA supporter. Can't hate the media enough. They pushed that because they wanted to believe it. They didn't want to believe it was one of their own. They didn't want to believe another shooter who was connected with trans shot somebody else. Let's not forget, a lot of people got upset, and it does suck that it happened on the same day. There was a school shooting that day. There was a school shooting in Colorado that day. You know what hasn't been brought up in a while? The church that got shot up. That was just a month ago, less than a month ago. The trans shooter who went in and shot up a bunch of children and teachers in a religious school that was absolutely targeted because there was a religious school, and it's usually a disgruntled person from this religious school. And this usually comes from not being comfortable in their own skin. And what they are taught now, what them, the young person that's transing because they were probably going through something else, and they grabbed onto this because now society has told them, well, society has done this to you, and it's perfectly okay to be mentally ill, and they're actually hunting you. and they don't want you to exist. They want you dead, when none of that is true. None of that is true. And it causes broken people to do broken things. And people were protesting the memorial. You're protesting a fucking funeral? Seriously? The radical left has created an epidemic of hate. Yes, they have, Slain Hope. Landor on YouTube highlighted this very thing. Someone in Oxford Uni WhatsApp leaked their union leaders celebrating it. Well done to the leaker. Yeah. God, if Tolkien wasn't spinning in his grave enough, him and C.S. Lewis, fucking Oxford Union, look what they've become. But when we were in Oxford, X-Ray Girl, it was pretty university. Lots of very young, malleable, sponge-like dumb brains. I wonder how much does it cost to go to Oxford? I don't know, I don't know what the payment structure is at uni for the UK. I have no idea. If you get grants or you just have to get admitted based on grades and the state pays for it. I have no fucking idea. Mad Dog for $4.99. I know you all don't like Mark Ruffalo, but Task on HBO is really good. Limited series, 1 episode in right now. Reminds me of The Town. I recommend it so far. Eesh, that's a tough one, man. I used to be able to separate art from artist. Mark Ruffalo is in Zodiac, and I love that movie. These monsters do not represent us. Game dev, I feel, should go without saying. We are not all fucking degenerates. I cried for Charlie for some reason. Then I've cried more than I've cried for anything else. We are right here. So there's a game dev saying we're not all like this. We know you're not. It sucks. We know you're not. Ministry of Lies for £5 British. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. I've cried for him and his family. I wanted to meet him. He could have been a future president. Thank you all for helping me cope. You're welcome. Ryan, you were stellar on Geeks and Gamers today as plus Explosion. We are not worthy. They're not worthy, Steve Watson. Thank you for the conversation, everyone in this panel. Yeah, this was the Friday afterwards, and there's no way we could avoid it. We're going to get back to our regularly scheduled nerdy programming, but it looks like Hollywood, after barely trying to change in this culture war, is just they're going to whip back to what they were in 2022. That's my prediction. Hope I'm wrong. Now, maybe there's some smart studios out there that won't do this. We'll see. Ever wonder why Marxist justice skips rules? Marxism sees laws as rich folk tools to crush workers in capitalism. Real social justice, a classless world where laws vanish. Till then, cherry pick rules for revolution. Andrew, you are correct. Thank you for the 1999. Check out Rules for Radicals. There are none. It's using a system's rules and flaws against it. Capitalism isn't perfect. Free market isn't perfect. There's a lot. I'm not a huge fan of corporatism at all. I love the free market in the sense of mom and pops, but it also conflicts with I'm not really big on regulating a business and regulations at all. See, the government I want is a dream. It's an absolute, it's not even possible right now. So I figure this is the best one we've got. If it wasn't for America, if it wasn't for this country, a 3-time loser like me would not be able to make it. It's only because I live in America that I was able to get out from under a lot of problems and be provided opportunities that would not have been provided anywhere else. Greatest country on earth, baby. B Player 1, thank you for the $10. Appreciate it. The people being nasty about this have been tilting at windmills for more than a decade, and the more level-headed amongst them are starting to realize that those windmills are not, in fact, giants. Word, well said. Stephen King's lie was repeated on German TV, and that's the whole point of it. Stephen King can apologize, but they won't report the apology. By the way, Tim Pool just tweeted it. A store owner just got reprimanded in Germany for not allowing Jews. Yikes. Zachary Jarvie for $5. Anyone seen Spinal Tap, the geriatric adventure? I haven't yet. I will. I heard it's chuckle inducing, which is good enough for me. Aiken for $7.99. Shad, show them Cartoon Connection outtakes with Anne Marie. That's what we grew up with. Who's Anne Marie? Troy Carr for $10. We need to bring back the days when Hollywood director could say, I'm not racist. You just suck. I know. The thing is, you can't say on a set that people suck anymore. That's a microaggression or a macroaggression. Not really sure. I think there's probably 5 directors in Hollywood who could still get away. Nope. 3. Cameron, Nolan, and I don't think Nolan's the type of person who would do that. Cameron absolutely is. And Quentin Tarantino. I can't see Nolan saying somebody sucks on set, but I could be wrong. An illegal beheaded someone in Dallas the other day. Weird how that happens. Yeah. Weird. Weird. Hang on. I just lost my place. Don't worry, X-Ray, I'll find it. It hunk, she's thinking of Scott Snyder, says Jeffrey Bird. It hunk. Scott Snyder he's an okay writer at times. I think he's written some stuff that I really enjoy, and he's gone completely off the rails. I don't think he's prolific, but in any sense, he's no Jeff Johns, who's a much better writer, much better DC Comics writer. He's no Chuck Dixon. I was digging Terminalist Dark Wolf until the episode 5 Tiny Girl versus Vanilla Gorilla fight. Sigh. Yeah, later on it gets a little silly when that tiny girl beats that giant dude. And yeah, it just kind of trailed off into, it's not terrible. I'm still enjoying it, but I'm up to the last episode and I haven't felt like I need to run and go see it. I would have rather have had Terminalist season 2, but this was obviously because of Chris Pratt's scheduling, something that holds you over. And I think Terminalist season 2 comes out next year. But yeah, just kind of meh. Yeah. You're really going to love in Peacemaker when Harcourt takes out and Harcourt puts Peacemaker, and she doesn't have any superpowers. She's really well trained, guys. Puts him in a fucking sleeper hold and knocks him out. Peacemaker. The killer of Rick Flag. Beat Rick Flag. Gets knocked out by Harcourt. James Gunn's wife. Peacemaker season 2 is intersectional feminist. Peacemaker season 2 is woke. And you're going to find out that the true villain of this season is going to be racism again. Because that was kind of the villain in the first one. Because if it needs to be spelled out for you, the alternate world's going to be all white and it's going to be horrific. And that's MAGA. MAGA. So for some of the gun bros out there and listen, Superman wasn't woke. Peacemaker season 2 is. Like full on. So we'll see how it plays out, but it'll be interesting that people say, well, man, there was some like based messaging at Superman. You sure about that? You sure? Keith, Mike, and people have been like, the defense for it has been really quiet lately because it's mostly boring, right? It's mostly like pointless and boring. Keith Michael for $5. If YouTube supremacists deleted someone, the leftist media would never shut up about it. It's not happening. How do we get a law to focus on the violent left? We control that. So how we control that is through what we view and what we buy. And it's more important than ever to swing the normies, because the normies keep this train running either way. And I don't blame them. I'm not calling them ignorant in any way, shape, or form. They're usually very busy people, and they don't have time to sort through the details of and the minutia of this utter bullshit. But the thing is, it's past time that they do. This was just silly stuff. Nobody has time for that. You need to find time now. Again, I don't blame you. You're busy. You're the people who, the hardworking people of the country are the people who make this country go. And go where you want. It's your money. Do what you want. I mean, boycotts, not really the answer, because these companies are conglomerates and they own so much. But you could do individual things like never watch Jimmy Kimmel. You'd be saving yourself a lot of, sleeping would be a better option. But the thing is, most of you aren't watching Jimmy Kimmel. It's being propped up. And until very recently, it turns out, by some of our tax money. Oh, yes. Wonder if companies will stop hiring crazies. Well, there's a lot more crazies out there than before. But that's on the company. I think the bigger question is, I wonder when companies are going to start paying the consequences for hiring crazies. I go to Liberty University. Charlie Kirk was supposed to be the guest speaker at Convocation. My school honors his life. The amount of people I know from home glorifying his death is demonic. He will be missed. There's no better way to describe it, whether you believe in demons or not. It's demonic behavior. RD for £5 British. I also got shamed for saying RIP, with one person saying, enough about Charlie Kirk. Your timeline should be all Gaza. Half a day into his death. With all due respect to the other countries and your problems out there, which I don't want you to have problems. We in America, while fully being aware that we've caused a lot of problems in your country, not going to deny that. We have problems over here we need to deal with. And quite frankly, we don't have time to deal with a couple of fucking wars, both of which have roots going back hundreds to thousands of years. Work it out on your own. We have our own problems right now. And honestly, y'all need for us to work out our problems. Weight Loss Games for €20 says, big shout out to Christopher Landau for no-fly listing any foreign journalists who rejoice upon Kirk's end, among others in German satirist Sebastian Hotz. This is seriously going to affect their careers. And if anybody bitches about that, just remind them that Michael Savage is not allowed in the UK. Hell, Jeremy Clarkson is not allowed in India, in Argentina. I don't think any of the crew is allowed in Argentina. But yeah, if anybody bitches about that, that's not. I don't have a problem with that. If you are the kind of person who cheers on death, really don't want you in my country. My fellow countrymen and women have First Amendment right to do that. It's disgusting, again, demonic, but they are citizens of this country and they can do it. Non-citizens, nope. Stay the fuck out. TV edits for $10. I don't really know what to say, but I'm praying for all of you in Jesus' name. Thank you, being a light in the darkness, FNT. Thank you for the prayers. I really do appreciate that. I don't know why people get upset about that. If somebody's praying for you, man, that's one of the greatest acts of kindness. You know, I know some really kind, good, morally ethical atheists who don't have a problem with it. So many are up their own ass about it, but actually there are some pretty normal ones out there who's like, oh, that's really nice. Dr. John Doe for $9.99. You are all missing the ending of all this rhetoric. Eventually, the normal person is going to say, fuck it. You called me this for a decade. I'll show you what you wanted, and I don't care anymore. And that's what happened with Jimmy Kimmel. A line was, we said it that day, a paradigm has shifted, a culture has shifted, a line was crossed. Escalation has been achieved. And who hasn't dialed down the rhetoric? Well, nobody has. Today we are Charlie Kirk. God have mercy on us all. Word. This is the insidiousness of social labels. Labels divide us and make us forget the values that we all share. That's what they're meant to do. Here's my lurker tax, Meek. May God bless Charlie Kirk's family. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, Cody. I agree. 100% of Hollywood with lefty media is responsible for the attack on Donald Trump, Charlie Kirk, Melissa and Mark Hortman, Nancy Pelosi's husband. I think Hollywood has played its part in dividing this country. They have played a huge part. That's why they focus so much on large IPs like Star Wars, Star Trek, because they knew they had mass appeal because their message isn't good enough to be sold on its own with something original. So they have to take over something. I mean, that's pretty much, that's Marxism in a nutshell. Marxism is a parasite that has to latch on to another system, good or bad, that was created. It can't be created from scratch. It's like zombie locusts. It has to revolt within that already living thing. I mean, shit, that's what the Borg are. So that's essentially what they do. They have to attach themselves to an IP and they hollow it out from in, and it is done. It is dust by the time they're done with it, and they move it on. So because the only thing they care about is the message. They never cared about Star Wars. And the thing is, that's where they take advantage. Is it's easier to destroy than create. We hear a lot of artists say that. What does Marxism do? It destroys. Well, this system wasn't perfect. And Marxism and communism, when applied correctly, will be perfect. Well, we've already had communism a bunch of times. It was never applied correctly. Oh, boy. Okay, I'm going to go to the other side now. We're going to go to the other side and Do a little bit. What are we doing on time wise? How you doing? Spielborg. How about Lego Batman? Well, I don't play the Lego Batman. Actually, looks kind of cool. I mean, I won't play it, but it does look pretty cool. Well done. Well done. Well done. We're also catching up on super chats from like right around Charlie Kirk. We're going to last Friday now. We're going to last Friday. So it turns out the rumor was true that the Mandalorian trailer was supposed to be released Friday, and they moved it because of the Jimmy Kimmel thing. I don't know all the talks about like them using billions at the stock market. Now I don't. They lost like point something percent. Let's see where Disney stock is now. Yeah, okay. So they've lost in the last 5 days. When did Kimmel get fired? Let's go month. Was it Friday? No, it was Wednesday, right? It was on a downward trajectory. Yeah, okay. So there it was. So it's lost like $3. Maybe that's significant. It's lost $3 whole in stock. Let's keep in mind around the Gina Carano firing, it went down to like under 100. But we also keep in mind the stock market health and Disney's health, which isn't great. Oh, they'll tell you it's great, but it's not great. Yeah, losing Kimmel didn't lose Disney. No, it's a gain. 3.76%. Thank you, Martin. So that could equal, I mean, like billions. That could, for sure. But I am no financial analyst. Does it have everything to do with Jimmy? I don't know. Did the unions back out with some of their support? Did any activist investors on the other side pull their support? Who knows? Who knows? Jimmy Kimmel was suspended. He was not fired. He was suspended, and he will be back. I think they're talking in the next couple of days. Yeah, he will be back. Give it a week. Totally agree. Darth Yeager, totally agree. Never thought he would be gone for long. My personal belief, Marxism will never succeed because it is founded on an impossibility, the perfectible man. Only one man has ever been perfect, and because of that, he will always fit. Well, and they killed him. Right, according to your beliefs. Like Douglas Adams was talking about the importance of money and people being happy. He's all in the one time humanity in Hitchhiker. One time humanity, there was a guy a couple thousand years ago saying, "Hey, why don't we be nice?" He was talking about money coming from trees. He's all, money doesn't come from trees. Blah, blah, blah. He's all, and one time there was a guy walking around saying maybe we should be nice to each other once in a while. They hung him from a tree or stuck him to a tree. Yep. Miso-son has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Thank you, Miso-son. Chaos Forever. Well, it seems like it might be that way. For €2 says, guys, we got to get Bill Whittle on the show. Bill Whittle. Yeah, maybe. You know how I want to get Mel Gibson. What are these? What are these? Okay. Abedin's 88 for $10 says Tatiana deserves the recent scorn, but Orphan Black was a great show and proved she can act. Orphan Black was a very good show. Kind of tailed off at the end, but it was a good show. And she can act. Just not in She-Hulk. Scapegoating was tying a person up, putting them backwards on a donkey, sending them off in the desert. At least you're still breathing. Stephen Bonnell admitted that he was about to alt F4 a kid and his family because he was pissed. Candace started Troll Watch. Kibble was never funny for $10. I agree. Yeah, Candace Owens, I'm not a fan. Never have been a fan. And it goes all the way back to her origins. You can look them up. Not a fan, never been a fan. But seeing her and Laura Loomer go at each other, I'm like, ooh, retard fight. All right. Let's break out the popcorn. Thank you, Kimmel was never funny. Fun fact, Kato once met Gina Carano not too long ago. It was one of the happiest moments of his life when she knelt down to give him an autograph. Because Kata's short. I don't know. Is he really short? X-Ray Girl, is Kata short?
I've never met him, but I hear he's short all the time from chat. Thanks, chat.
Rarely short. He's short all the time. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Sam X Steele says, Shad, I need more. It was such a good book. Excited for your next book, but also I would need to know what happens next. Everyone else, love y'all so much. You make sad times bearable. Thanks. Thank you. Hang on. 9 days. Stroke. 9 days until Space King. All hail Space King. What's Space King? Paul, who is taller, comics or Kata? That's kind of like Pippin and Mary when they're with Treebeard and they start drinking the water. They start growing a little bit. I just kind of imagine that. By the way, oh my God. Happy Hobbit Day, everybody. Today is Bilbo and Frodo's birthday, September 22nd. Go watch Lord of the Rings for the 1,000th time. I just finished a rewatch over like the course of a week. Now I want to watch it again. Yeah, the Fangorn juice. Happy Hobbit Day, everybody. Hurt aliens, hurt people. Bagger Vance Jones, AE. Okay. Rarely catch you live. My first time seeing Chrissy was when Liberty Doll was on her show. I'm one of the LD's mods. I usually only hear the show while driving. Love the show. Thanks, Jesse. Believe it or not, a lot of people just listen to this show and they don't want to see our pretty faces. I don't understand why they're robbing themselves of seeing such beauty, but that's their choice and that's okay. That's okay. Kata, did you get Gary your new intro for FNT? Did he? He should have. FNT should be made into a movie like Kung Fury 1 and 2. Yeah, we can call it Retard, the movie. Hypnos Dog for gay retards in space. Call it gay retards in space. Hypnos Dog for 5 British pounds. Ayo, chum chim, you monkey, say hi to Bubbles for me before you start chugging sausage milk. Also, Chrissy, hide your feet from that foot banded chichum. Joe G for 10 British pounds. I've been watching for over 6 years now. I'm sorry. You guys are my virtual friends. I appreciate you all. I'm going to continue getting high and drunk and pretend the world is all good. Hail chat. That's terrible. That's terrible. Aw. Just remember, Joe, there is great beauty in this world this very moment. All the time. Acts of kindness, great beauty that are best appreciated. I'm just going to say, not to judge you. You do what you want. Best appreciated sober. Okay. Hollow Archive for $5 says, Shad question, are you working on another book? Oh, people have asked it. He answered this question. He did. Jimmy Fallon's show has been going down for ages, but the studio audience laughter seems to get louder and more maniacal. Was I the only one hearing it? I wouldn't know. Maria, UK. I don't watch Jimmy Fallon. I actually thought he was okay on Saturday Night Live, but not extraordinary. But Seth Meyers, Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, they are all like, they're not even B team to Leno and Letterman, who are showing their support. Of course they are. Who were barely, I mean, okay, Letterman was B team to Johnny Carson. But Craig Ferguson and Conan O'Brien were better than all these motherfuckers. They just were. Jackson Cagle for $5. Hail panel, hail chat, hail to you. Lo-Fi Inc. Blocked Beats for $5 says, late night became politics without punchlines. I make music that's just music. Come hang out if you like chill beats and anime. Hail chat and God bless. Right back at you. Single cell organism for $5. Just drops a donation, walks away. Stuart Barham, thank you for the $4.99 British pounds. We appreciate it. Hypnos Dog for £2 British pounds. Hey, yo, Chum Chim. Where's Bubbles? Throws banana. Jesus Davila for $5. Did PETA write the Alien show? Man, it feels like it does. Jesus, that is really a good point. What I'm thinking about is like, what perspective is this show coming from? And it's really kind of coming from an alien's perspective. You could argue that we're seeing it from their perspective. They're not the main characters, but we're definitely seeing it from their perspective. Yes, I think PETA wrote the Alien show. Noah Hawley said early on, it's in my video, that he said, one of the messages of this is, does humanity deserve to live? The humanity in this show does not deserve to live. And there's the Lil Pep Xenomorph. Keith Beck for $2. An Aliens Gorman mentions the word xenomorph. Aliens Gorman. Oh my God. I can't even reach up to fucking type with my left hand. This is bad. Can't wait for this to go away. So, okay. So in Aliens, Gorman mentioned xenomorph. Absolutely. Because it comes after alien. What we were talking about was the term xenomorph preceding alien. Alien. The term xenomorph used by Prodigy and now known by Wayland Yutani. Because Alien Earth takes place 2 years before Alien. How do we get to the last 13 years, making me prefer a time when it was only 4 Alien films, still only 2 in my headcanon, Terminator included. I agree, TJ Jordan. How do we get to a time where I wasn't excited for a new Alien film or a Predator film, and I hate Star Wars now? How in the fuck did we get here? Have you guys seen Demon Slayer Infinity Castle? Tableman, I have not, but apparently I am one of the only people on planet Earth who hasn't, because it's making a fuck ton of money. Earth The space Tijuana, says Hob Dobson. Not wrong. Aliens are just another minority metaphor now. Yep. They should have just called it illegal alien Earth. Marie, sorry. As always, trying to rush in. Play with me a little, says Axel Foley. Yes. Yeah, you can absolutely count if you're leading it. So streaming, I can't semi air quotes. Streaming, I can't lift my other arm. So just use your imagination. There's a flow and there is a process to it, like that you get with your co-hosts over a long period of time. Like if somebody interrupts, but it feels like I've talked enough and they might have a good point, back out, like just go, like keep the conversation going, keep it flowing. That's the thing. It's a tricky business that not everybody can do. And there are rules and unwritten rules. I mean, people get interrupted all the time. Getting upset over it is really pointless because the only people you should be worrying about, like being upset about the interrupting, is the chat. If you got a good point, hold on to it. You can circle back to it later. There's nothing wrong with that. The art, again, air quotes, of streaming. One thing you can always count on with Az is, even though you're building up to like a punchline, he will step on that punchline every fucking time. Hey, Gary, that's not a poo. That's Osama. Oh, thank you, Ashki. Ryan Crawford for $4.99. When is your book arriving, dude? Wife bought it for my birthday in July. Liverpool is far from Texas. Fair enough. Christmas present. Hopefully, love you. The pre-order for the book ends in 4 days. So closeout is Friday, and then they are going to print by the holidays for sure. You'll have them before the holidays. That's when it's arriving. We got 4 more days on my book. If you want to pre-order it beforehand through Rippaverse, we close out Friday night with Mahler, and we'll do a big old closeout party. Then I'm working on the audiobook. If you miss out, it's fine, because it goes on. It'll be available at Barnes & Noble and Amazon and everywhere you find your favorite books, or online. After that, this was a special pre-order. We appreciate everybody who supported it, and hope you'll like it. I'm reading it now. As a matter of fact, I can give a one-handed preview. I did this for my members last night, X-Ray Girl. This is unedited, by the way, in case anybody screen caps this. It is definitely unedited. We have and listen, you're probably going to find mistakes. That's life. Here we go. So we have some vector visual art that will precede each section. Now, it's not all vector visual. Vector visual recently had a horrible health scare, so send prayers out to Vector Visual. He is the one who does all of our, you can't see it, but there's one, right? All of our FNT meetup posters. He's great. So that's Vector Visual. Great artist. Big health scare. I got to meet him in Vegas. I hope he's doing well. Prayers out to you, buddy. But then, I mean, it's obviously not formatted. This is what I'm reading off of. I need to read off of actual paper. So section 1 is, part 1 is Breaking Bad. And then Harbinger of Hate. Like really fun titles. Then we go through little sections. So that's it. That's the preview. That's the first 30 pages of my book that I'm reading right now. Prayers for Vector Visual. Good dude, and really talented guy. So yeah, we have like comic art preceding each section, and that little mini 2-page comic will kind of like be an introduction to that section. There you go. But it ends this Friday. When does it go up on Amazon and Barnes and Noble? I think I'm waiting until like the fulfillment gets done. So it's probably going to be like early December. So once all the fulfillment gets done, the pre-orders, you guys are all taken care of first. Absolutely first. 100% first. Kid ABC for $1 says, LOL. Been following you guys for some time, but since your content has become ever more biased and you seem to have been brainwashed by propagandist right-wing media, I'm quitting all of your channels. Censorship is wrong, and you know it if you're as smart as you pretend. Was it censorship, though? Was it censorship? Sorry to see you go. Sorry you feel that way. But yeah, I'm not brainwashed. He was suspended. We did not exactly. We celebrated because it was funny. You fuck around and find out. But we're still against state censorship. Always have been, always will be. But this wasn't the case. So I would say do your homework. Satellite cannon for $5. Alien Earth should not be about other aliens that have been xenomorphed, or just a live action adaptation of an alien arcade game. Yeah, they should have adapted one of the comics, you know? Witcher is like going to London West End to see Sarah Brightman in the Phantom of the Opera, only to find she left the show and you're getting the understudy. Oh, yes. Yeah, that's a good point. Hannah Einbinder, who made the pro-Hamas comments at the Emmys, didn't consider that anyone in Hollywood who would hire her in the future is probably Jewish. She's Jewish, Dr. Vapor. She is Jewish. Oh, it's crazy. And that's a huge problem. It's going to be a huge problem in Hollywood. Like, they don't have enough problems already, but they have this split within their own industry over Israel and Palestine. However you are on that side of the argument. Again, I'm not versed enough to speak on it. I will just give a basic bitch Hollywood answer. War is bad. I don't like children getting killed. I'm very much against it. But that is their problem. I wish it'd stop. I do. But it's their problem. And I know people who have family in both regions. You know, I get it, but we have to deal with our problems. Breaking news: John Cena to continue apologizing in Mandarin and English for Peacemaker Season 2, says Jason Webster. Ooh, it was bad, dude. Oh, boy. I love Az's new meme for the transmissions a few FNTs ago. Men in disguise. An episode of Gravity Falls where the mayor dies and the news reacts with tears of Job because they considered it actual news. A show made by D+. There you go. Oh, those are backwards. So that was part 2. Gary, when I heard you bring up, was it in Vegas? The Vegas shooting in the Nooner with Gore yesterday and how the news reacted, I instantly remembered an episode of Gravity Falls. Okay. Yeah. Maybe next time put the number part 1 above the part 2. X-Ray Girl usually works best. God damn it. This fucking thing. Now my mouse is acting all funny. Should I read Heir to the Empire? Is it really good? And is the RoboCop game DLC good? I played the original. Steven, what I've heard is the DLC is very good on the RoboCop game, and absolutely read Heir to the Empire. It's fantastic. Speaking for Jews, we don't claim Hannah Einbinder. Yeah, Dragon. It doesn't sound like it. Well, there's secular Jews, And I guess those are the ones who practice a religion and ones who don't. These times are nuts. Thank you guys for covering the madness. Hey, Shad, any resources that would be helpful to a welder that wants to start making medieval armor? Thanks all. Keep being awesome. Maybe we can save that one for Shad. Remember, sunlight is the best disinfectant. Let everyone talk, but I choose who I give my money to. You guys are great. Cheers. And that's where the free speech issue comes in. It's just a company doing what it wants to do, you know. I would just ask for the rules to be applied equally. That's what I've always asked, which they weren't, right? Gina Carano was fired. The real reason was pronouns, but was for supposedly the straw that broke the camel back was her sharing somebody else's, not meme, but message from Instagram or TikTok that was true. That wasn't even inflammatory. It was, you want to know what led to the killing of a lot of Jews? Fellow citizens. The government couldn't have done it alone, basically. Fellow citizens willing and able to help them with the culling. Compare that to Pedro Pascal saying, suck it, Nazi Confederates, had to half the country. And that's not even as bad as insinuating that an assassin was part of MAGA. In different times, but you know. So as you guys like to put it out, it's not a government censoring people. It is a company firing somebody. A good example of a government censoring people, UK arrested Graham Linehan in the airport. The Biden administration was specifically pointing out people to ban on Facebook. We know this was happening on Twitter. I'm sure it was happening on Google. I'm absolutely sure the administration was behind the removal of Gavin McGinnis, Alec Jones, Milo Yiannopoulos. This is off Twitter and a lot of other places. 100% the government was behind it. Did anybody say anything then? Female presenter being proud about 5 out of 6 nominated were women, and the only male one. You got to love it, Bad News Badger. You got to love it. Comics division over there looking nervous now that Netflix comics division is joining the panel. That's good. That is good. Jeremy's other DEI replacement. Welcome to FNT Kata. Kata was great. Kata and Epic Mike are great. That's why we have them on. There's a couple other people we're gonna rotate in the future as well. Marty for $4.99. Oh, Kimmel. Him and Damon pretend to hate each other. That sign referenced that overdone joke. Yep. It's a Team America joke. Yes, it is. It is. It is. Mark Zulu King challenges woke professor to a stick fight duel who mouthed off to him. Really? I don't know what that's about. Mainstream media is dishing out the Kool-Aid. Turn them off and find independent media source and get your information from them. Benny Johnson is a good place to start. Yes. And not everybody loves Benny, and not everybody has to love Benny. Just find the person that's right for you. Here's the deal. Again, freedom is dangerous, and there is a lot of bullshit out there. There's a lot of, I'm not going to use the government term. There's just a lot of bullshit out there. And it's up to you as the individual to decide what you believe the truth is, or where the most honest person is. And I think we're much better off dealing with the bullshit and having you decide what you want to watch, and collectively with your very sane adult mind decide, okay, I watch a lot of bullshit that I don't believe, but I like some of it. And we don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater on that. It's much better than the alternative, which is the government-sponsored narrative, the lies you have been told for decades, which are all lies. Sure, they'll have a kernel of truth. That is part of, and I'm using their term, misinformation. But you're not getting the truth. You're getting a distorted, mutilated version of it, which isn't the truth. And that's all we want. For example, if the Epstein files, which don't exist, ever came out, and there's some names on it that we probably wouldn't like, I wouldn't give a fuck. I just want the names. We'll deal with the whatever later. I just want the fucking names. And honestly, my heart won't be broken at all. If there is somebody who was disingenuous, evil, and they were on that list and proven beyond the shadow of a doubt to be guilty of something, fuck them. But again, that list was gone. It existed. It absolutely existed, but it was gone. And to think it wasn't gone is naive. Just is. What was more naive and stupid was the Trump administration and Trump pushing that they could get it. Jen T. Maxey for $5. Please don't let the woke get a hold of the Crown Royal bag. I'll end up as a Lady Liberty bottle in a purple skirt. Oh God, Eagles way better. I remember the Crown Royal bag. I used to keep things in it. We Are Jimmy Kimmel is the moment might beat the tone deafness of singing Imagine during a certain pandemic. Connor, you're 100% right on that one. That is worse. Chrissy, thank you for reminding you will be in Ohio. Just got my ticket. Crackpots is awesome, says Joe Cole. I lost my job over a feeling I had. No, you lost your job because you told the world that thought everyone has bad thoughts. What we do not do is then go to HR and tell them these thoughts. True. Pedro Pascal shows up in more places than COVID, says Jason Webster. Not wrong. Hashtag we support Tatiana's cancel movement. Cancel Disney Plus and ESPN, says Kaloth. See, people coming together. I just want to clip and record every director and actor that promised to never work for Disney again. We are going to have a big laugh. Yep. Oh, yes. Absolutely. Some of these people are saying they won't work for Disney anymore. Is like me saying I'm not going to date Sydney Sweeney anymore. It was never going to happen. There's video of people clearing out Kimmel's studio. He's done. Is there? Like for real? They could fill it back up though. Trump just added 100,000 fee to H-1B applications. He is essentially eliminating 91% of H-1B. I voted for this so hard. There you go. We're not even one full year into Trump's term. I know. Gary, did you know Samuel L. Jackson is in Tulsa King? Yes, I did. This fat bridge. I just watched the first episode tonight. If you remember, you can watch my watch party from last night, and I liked it. I liked it. My late ex-wife's husband went to high school with Patton Oswalt, and yes, Patton is a turd. I know some people who went to. I thought you were setting up a joke there, to be honest with you. I know somebody who knew Patton, and here's the guy Patton was. Patton would kind of leech. So before he got big, he would hang out with his boys, and they'd do acid together, and he'd couch surf because he had no place to go. And the minute he got big, and I mean semi big, forgot every single one of them existed. Wouldn't give him the fucking time of day. Big time the fuck out of him. So funny story is Patton Oswalt big time my friend Derek Robertson, co-creator of Transmetropolitan and The Boys and Happy. And eventually Patton Oswalt voiced Happy, and they had to face each other for the first time after Patton totally big timed him. And Patton's like, hey man, it's like they're all fucking piece of shit phonies. All, most. Oh, and Patton ain't some huge nerd. He's really played that up. He's a nerd, but he's not like, you would think he's got like encyclopedic comic knowledge. No. Matt Walsh needs to make a sequel to What is a Woman and call it What is a Fascist. I think it could do better than the original. That's actually a good idea, Japanese Demon Lord. I liked his last movie. I thought it was funny. Respect to all of you guys. We would not be here without you. Thank you for the courage to speak truth. I am Charlie. James, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And you know, I really appreciate it. These are crazy times. There's no greater compliment to a man's character than his death being cheered by the most vile of human beings. When good men fall, the devils cheer. Lord of the Nerds. Lord of the Nerds, spelled with 3s. I got that. You're right. The saying that's been going around is your booze don't bother me. Your booze don't, something to the effect of your booze don't bother me because I've seen what you cheer is spot on. Spot on. Code Pink is funded by China. Look it up. It is, Gunner. So are many other things. So are many, many other things. Tim W for 10 says, hey, a long-time listener, first-time commenter here. Question for all the fellowship. How does the country recover from the mess that we are all in? Being very diligent, actually talking to people, doing what Charlie Kirk was doing. Sit down and have a conversation with somebody. Cordially disagree. Not hang all your friendships and relationships off of 3 or 4 issues. Most of us agree on most things. Aside from the fringes, most of us agree on most things. We want to live happy lives. We want our kids to be safe if we have kids. You know, people who don't have kids, they want kids to be safe too. They do. They actually do. And most of us probably hate war and violence and don't want to see people raped in the street, don't want to see private businesses robbed. We don't want to see shit burned down. Like I said, you know, there was the days we fought over like, how do we fund healthcare and how do we take healthcare? I miss those days. I really do. I really do. But we keep talking to each other, and I highly recommend people going on a spiritual path. I've seen a lot of people. I really hope they stick with it. And I'm not talking about you guys in the chat. I'm talking about content creators. Hey, great. If you have, I'm going to church. Hope you stick with it. Hope this wasn't just I'm going to go to church. And then we, you know, spiritual journeys aren't things that should be taken on a whim. There's usually something bad that leads to it, or you were brought up in a religious family and it really does your life good. It really fulfills you. You know, there's a lot of reasons for it, but and it's great to go. You should go. I think it's great to check it out and be curious about it. But doing it for show, well, that's not going to fulfill you. That's not going to fulfill you. I went on a spiritual journey in this last time around. Really didn't sink in for me the first time around in sobriety. Second time in sobriety, it really sunk in. Because I went from full. I'm not an atheist. I used to be an atheist. I'm not anymore. I've seen too much to think that there isn't a plan, there isn't a design. I've just seen too much. So went on that spiritual journey and it fulfilled me, made me happier. And I use the term fellowship because I hate the word community. I think it's a commie word from Lord of the Rings, but also from AA fellowship and NA fellowship. That was something I really my heart and soul needed badly, and it saved my life. And that's my church. It's my church. And I think if more people go, great. But it's not a superficial thing. That's the antithesis of it. So all I'm saying is be real. That's all. Because you're going to church, you believe in God. Well, that God sees you all the time and knows what's going on up here all the time. Because it's part of my belief that we're part of that. We are part of a conscious, broken off into individuals experiencing itself. Sharp Sticks for $10. Hail FNT as are you playing Days Gone? Oh, I read this one. Kata's Foot Tax for Gray Ghost for $10. Kata on FNT before Beardo, LMAO, and that's what it will stay. I need to get a list, X-Ray Girl, of people we should have on FNT before Beardo. I'm guessing it could be significant, but I would focus on the people it would piss them off the most. Like, who's next? Who would piss off Beardo the most? Is that my motivation? Yes. Is it petty? Yes. Is it fun? Yes. The ABC affiliates will not back down. Kimmel either apologizes and makes substantial donations to the family and TP, or he is gone. Kimmel will never do that. No. And honestly, I don't think he should be. They can demand that. Your job can demand that. But if I was Kimmel, I wouldn't fucking do it. If I didn't feel that way, I wouldn't fucking do it. That doesn't make shit better. He needs to actually feel like he did something wrong. And the thing is, ABC wouldn't have gotten rid of him. Disney wouldn't have gotten rid of him if it wasn't for Nexstar. It's bringing heat. Look no further than the Wicked Witch of the West, Nancy Pelosi, when she said Dems can't take responsibility for their rhetoric, claims it wasn't their intention for violence. Love y'all. Hail FNT. Yes, yes. And she really feels that way, that multimillionaire who lives in one of the richest areas of San Francisco, who is thoroughly disconnected from the real people and robbed, not robbed, is one of the best choosers of stock on the planet. It's bad what happened to her husband. Not a fan of her husband, but I don't want to see, and I said it at the time, it's terrible what happened to him. But yeah, it's bad. I can't tell you how much it hurts to know people who I thought were my friends would celebrate the death if they knew my opinions. I live in California. Shu made a great video about that. It's like, wow, you're celebrating somebody's deaths whom I share beliefs with. Would you celebrate my death, friend? Tell me, friend. Friday night talk show hoes. Jimmy Kimmel was not get canceled. He was fired. Is canceled as being deplatformed, debanked, ostracized, made to fear to speak, or against the system. Well, okay, so Jimmy Kimmel show being canceled is accurate right now. While he's suspended, they canceled the show. It could come back, but the show at the time, right now, has been canceled. So that's what a lot of people are talking about. Now, if you're talking about the difference, you're right. But he was suspended. He has not been fired, which would really mean he wasn't canceled because he has not been fired. But you're right. Canceling is deplatforming, debanking, ostracizing, making it fear to speak out to the system. You are correct there. But Jimmy Kimmel was suspended. His show was taken off the air, canceled temporarily, but canceled. Where's Fig? Oh, Jeremy, he wasn't here. Sadly, Disney will do anything to bring him back. Woke religion above profits for all these highly paid executive types. You're not wrong. What's Jimmy Kimmel's favorite pickup line? Excuse me, sir. May I push your stool? Push in your stool. E. Ah. Ugh. Hail FNT Gary. I know you're a fan of Mego figures. I am. So could you give me a shout out to my YouTube channel, Action Figure Reboots? I could use some subscribers. Go check out Action Figure Reboots. Do you do Mego stuff there? I need to know. I need to know. I am I'm looking up at my Migos. Really expensive. I'm looking for a Conan on card. Not easy to find. And I'm looking for a custom Moon Knight. I had one and I lost it on an auction. And I've never seen it since. I got an awesome custom Ghost Rider though. I just need a little motorcycle for him now. If they made a Mego motorcycle. Cancel culture evolved into killing culture. Fuck them, says Krogbase. You're right. And the last couple of years, I thought Freeze Peach was far right thing. There you go. Kimmel sold soul to the devil. Who else hasn't in Hollywood? Not everybody. Not everybody. Trying to find a good one to end it on. Give me a moment. Marcus Flavius for $20. Thank you very much. Where is a good one to end it on? The left are having an ism schism. I met a lot of lefties on the march in London who were disgusted with their own side. That's good to hear. I've never say anything. I've been saying this since I walked out of The Last Jedi. Boycott Disney. They kill franchises. The wokeness boycott Disney. If you choose to do that personally, you go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. A lot of people have. A lot of people have boycotted Disney. The only, and this is true. The only preparation for this stream is preparation H. I just want to say, fuck Jimmy Kimmel, unfunny, and his only talent is crying like a bitch on command. No mercy for a millionaire getting a timeout for TV being disgusting. Fuck Jimmy Kimmel. And now that's all it is timeout. What makes it worse is why they're doing this. Why they're doing this is because they want to deflect from Charlie Kirk getting murdered by a radical woke leftist. They need to change that narrative as soon as possible because they see what they have done and they are now faced with their realities. And instead of going, maybe we should turn down the temperature, which some of them are, good for you. No, they're doubling and tripling down because they can't be wrong, because the philosophy here is, and I just read an article that really just cements this, is they roll out of bed every morning thinking they are right about everything, that the science and the politics and the morality has been settled. They are the side of good. Everybody else is the side of bad. Trans kids are part of the natural order thing and not child abuse. Pushing for men to be in women's sports is not sexist. It's quite the opposite. Allowing men to be in bathrooms with 12, 10, 9-year-old girls should be totally cool. That's the right side of history, according to them. And despite Hollywood being filled with millionaires and billionaires, Marxism is the way. Socialism is the way. Oh, I mean, for all you plebs, not for us. Not for us, because we'll go practice our own little economy in whatever country we live in. But America, you plebs, So you don't understand that we are not as good as them, folks. We are not as smart as people who can read and interpret lines. We are not as smart. Okay, we're going to wrap it up there. We're going to do a part 2 Thursday night. So join us then. I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Thanks to the Nerdrotics. Oh, we got some membership. I got to read those. I got to read the members, and then we're out of here. Okay. How you doing, X-Ray Girl? You okay?
Fantastic.
That's great. She's always happy. X-Ray Girl's always pretty happy. What the fuck's wrong with her?
Life is a drug.
That's it. Get high on life, baby. Woo! She's the best. Gary and chat. Check out Video Games Live. Dudes go city to city. Has the local orchestra play game music. Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. And they're in Texas in early 2026. That sounds fun. Japanese Demon Lord Abir has become a new member. What's up, brother? Thank you. Darkington gifted 5 Nerdrotic Live memberships. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Darkington. At what point do the number of variant covers become too much, especially seeing as how comics take up more space than trading cards? Well, hopefully it's interesting that you bring this up, and man, this could be a stream for another day, but comic books have become trading cards. Very few people read them. Now, it seems that at least DC is trying to shift into more story-oriented books. And of course, they're only doing it with Batman right now. Well, they have the Absolute Run, which is just another reboot. And now they're rebooting it again. So they're doing 2 separate reboots, one of kind of their Ultimate Universe and their regular universe. And it's mostly done through Batman. And they brought back Scott Snyder. That's a better name. That's a better name. Snot Skider. Who's like, it's just an uninspired, boring fucking choice. It doesn't want to get me back into reading comic books that is still filled with people who absolutely hate your guts. Now, there are some good comics out there. I would say the new comics I pick up are Conan and pretty much everything Mark Miller. Those are fantastic comics. But I venture outside of Marvel and DC. I don't buy Marvel and DC. I'm still buying translated French comics. I buy tons of back issues that I haven't read. I've got huge blind spots with some Silver Age DC that I'm reading because I was a Marvel guy mostly. But your question was about variants. I would say anything over 3 is too many. But it's gotten to ridiculous numbers now, like absolutely absurd, ridiculous numbers. And it's to pad sales to satisfy the suits. It's been reported that Batman #1 sold to stores sold 500,000 copies. In reality, we'll see how many the stores are stuck with. I don't know if they did a 1 in 1,000 variant, a 1 in 500 variant, but I'm certain they did a 1 in 100 variant, which means you have to buy 100 comics to get that variant. You mark it up. You better do it immediately, and you better sell it the same day, or that variant price will drop. But the amount of people who actually purchased Batman to read, under 200,000. Yes, it's that fucking high. It's that ridiculous. Now, you also have to account for the people who are just completionists who just collect stuff and don't read it, or fully intend to read it but never do. That amount is surprisingly high. And that goes back, like, I've been out of the game for 12, 13 years. But I doubt much of that has changed, because 12, 13 years ago, things were better. things were a lot better. Over 3 is too many. In the zombie movie videos, the Y-Files put out last week, there's a character that sounds like X-Ray, did the voiceover. Maybe it's my imagination. Maybe it was X-Ray. Maybe they just wanted to sound like X-Ray. Maybe all Asian women sound alike. Hail from Charleston and Nancy Mace country. As a former San Antonian, just tell me one thing. Cue City Slickers. Oh, what is who has the best brisket in town? I don't know the answer. That's been so long since I've seen City Slickers. Oh shit. Who has the best brisket in town? I failed. Rupert Patterson is a new member. Thank you. Max Relax for 4 months says, do we know how tall Comics really is? Hail, good sir, for another great show. He's like 5'8". He's not that short. We just give him shit. I think he's like 5'2". 5'2". Okay, we're going to wrap it up there. Again, thanks, everyone. Thanks, X-Ray Girl. Thanks to everyone who left Super Chat and donation. You know, keep the lights on. Thanks you to the Nerdrotics. Back Thursday night. I'll be on Az's channel tomorrow for, would that be Go to the Salt Lick? It says go to the Salt Lick. I don't get out much, to be honest with you. I'll be on Real BBC tomorrow with that, Az and Mahler, and we will discuss the Mandalorian and female Voldemort, whatever stupidity happens in Hollywood. Back to the fun stuff, little alternative programming, while that real world stuff continues. So, y'all have a great, I'm going fucking native. Y'all have a great day. See you later.